He was jogging him inside the road.
Charles Rose says he was injured as he tried to save the child.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about dog bite laws in the state of Georgia. What you're responsible for, how much you could be responsible for if the dog bites somebody, what is considered a dangerous dog, and what you can do to prevent from being sued or your dog attacking someone. So we're going to go through this. We're going to get in here real soon. Let's talk about this. Let's get right into it.
Talking shit about me, but you think I really care? I've been grinding hard for all this shit, now you wanna compare? Lose or sleep, see results, never quit. Everyone is in it, all the money in this music is. Yo, so better run, little sucker. Get on my way. I'm coming for the #1 spot, cause I can make this shit blow up like a gunshot. Gunshot, 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 gunshot.
Video obtained by WLWT. Children playing outside in Price Hill as a pit bull mix goes on the attack, grabbing the leg of an 11-year-old boy and not letting go, and then biting a 38-year-old man as he tried fighting off the dog.
You just see the dog start attacking the little boy. He was jogging him inside the road.
Charles Rose says he was injured as he tried to save the child.
I was right there. So he started attacking me, so I tried to get him off. So I did get enough strength to flash him like that.
Police list the 4-year-old pit as a vicious animal. I talked to a woman who says she was caring for the animal and said he's a friendly dog and is up to date on all of his shots. She says the teenager who was walking the dog said other children were taunting the animal, which caused it to attack. But here's what others in the neighborhood tell us.
Like, it was thick, it was a round dog. I mean, it was big, it had to be at least 100 pounds. He was definitely in attack mode, yeah. He was not letting go of his victim. Okay. One had the shovel and one had the chair. Yeah, and they hit the dog until he stopped trying to attack people.
As people in this Price Hill neighborhood try to reconcile in their mind what happened, they also are thinking about what could have been.
I've never seen a dog attack somebody like that.
Now, Charles Rowe told us he had to get 5 stitches for his injury. Initially, the dog was on a leash, but then broke loose. A citation was issued because the animal caused injuries. I'm Curtis Fuller, WLWT News 5.
All right, guys, let's get into this. And I'm going to talk about this from a law enforcement perspective of you being charged for this. Not saying you've been found guilty, but charged for this, okay? Let's say you're walking your dog down the street and your dog lunges out at someone and bites them and they're on the leash. That's the first scenario. The second scenario is you invite someone over to your house, and while they're at your house, your dog bites them. That's the second scenario, right? And then the third scenario is if say you're in your car and someone reaches in your car to, I don't know, they come close to your car and your dog reaches out the window and bites them, all right? Those are 3 scenarios. Now, all this is going to fall under the umbrella of the Georgia leash law, right? We're talking about the state of Georgia. We're not talking about any other state. In the state of Georgia, you're required to have your dog on a leash whenever you are out and about and they're not on your property, and I mean with a fence, or inside your home. If your dog bites someone and they are not leashed, means they're not under your control, you are responsible. You'll be responsible for punitive damages. You'll be responsible for pain and suffering, and you'll be responsible for general damages. And those 3 are all different. General is basically you got bit and all of a sudden you've got some injuries and you can't work. Pain and suffering is what it is. You had pain from the injury and and you're hurting. And then punitive is going to be a tack on to that. So where would you get covered from this? What would help you pay for this stuff? And one is going to be the legal court, the insurance. Your homeowner's insurance is probably going to help you out with this. Now, from a legal standpoint, an officer will have to cite you because your dog wasn't under control. or they were, but they weren't under control. If they were able to bite someone when they were on the leash, and if you go back to that video, that little boy had that dog on a harness. If he had that dog on a flat collar, the dog wouldn't have been able to bite. He could have snatched the dog back, but he had him on a harness. So the dog wasn't under control. I know harnesses are cute and people love harnesses, but you cannot control a dog on a harness. I don't care how many videos they sell about these harnesses and all this craziness, you can't. Number two, it doesn't matter if someone agitated the dog to bite them, right? They're still going to cite you. So with that being said, you need to figure out a way to make sure that your dog is under control. This is why you don't tell people, you tell people not to pet your dog, right? Because you don't know who your dog's going to react to. Now, I know someone's going to say, what about if someone's breaking into my home? And that's a totally different subject. The same thing is totally different as owning a protection dog. So we're not going to try to blend all these in. We're just talking about pet dogs that have an incident and bite someone. Right? So if you've told someone not to pet your dog, and you've told someone to stay away from your dog, and you have your dog under full control, and they come over and pet your dog anyway, then you will not be liable. You can fight it in court. If you have proof, video showing that you told them not to pet your dog, you probably won't have an issue. Now, if you tell someone it's okay and they pet your dog and your dog bites them, you will be responsible. All right? So under the law, you should have your dog added to your insurance or your homeowner's insurance. You never know what's going to happen. Your dog could bite the water and heater guy, right? He may not see him. He may think he's a threat. He may bite him. You should have that covered, right? Once your dog has bitten someone and law enforcement has cited you, your dog will be labeled a vicious dog. Once they're labeled a vicious dog, you would have to take out a $50,000 liability insurance on that dog, a certainty bond on that dog, so that if there is another incident, then you got that to pay, and the dog is probably going to get put to sleep. So once your dog is labeled a vicious animal, they have to remain in a crate 24/7. The only time they can be off the crate is when you take them outside to use the bathroom, and they have to be on a 6-foot leash. They cannot be on a longer leash, and they cannot have contact with anybody, including children. So the only time they get to come out the crate is when they come outside to use the bathroom. When they do come out to use the bathroom, they have to have a muzzle on them, right? If none of this is happening, you could be cited by animal control again if they catch you doing it. So that's what happens. You will have to go to court. You have to see a judge. They'll quarantine the dog to make sure the dog doesn't have rabies. And then you will be cited, and you would have to pay legal fees to the people that, to the courts. You will have to pay pain and suffering to the person the dog bit. And you will have, pretty much, you're going to have some issues there, right? So you're going to pay out a little hefty fine, depending on how many stitches the person got. So under Georgia law, you have to have your dog leashed at all times. If you have a dog trainer who is taking your dog into public places and putting your dog on dog food and on boxes and leaving your dog unattended in the aisle, and your dog bites someone while they're training the dog, you are going to be liable because you're the dog owner, not the trainer. I know that sucks, but it's the truth, because you own the dog. Once you turn your dog over to a trainer, you give that trainer all the responsibilities without the punishment of only having your dog with them. So it's mindful. It's why you never see me at PetSmart with a dog in the aisle off leash, and I'm walking away trying to get likes on Facebook showing you I can leave a dog off leash, because I'm thinking about the owners, right? I'm thinking about the owners. If I'm not thinking about the owners, then I'm doing things so I can get likes. And let me show you what I did with such and such dog today. And then that dog bites someone, animal control takes that dog, and the owners get cited, right? This is the bigger picture, guys. This is what I'm talking about, right? Also, too, you have to be wary. If your dog does not like someone or is not feeling someone, don't force them to be around that person. You're looking for an issue. Put your dog up or ask the person to leave. You have two options. Don't force your dog to like people, right? Don't give your dog give the people treats and tell them to feed your dog. They're gonna bite them anyway. So that's stupid. And don't have anyone sticking their hand out to sniff them. They're gonna bite them once they put their hand out. They're gonna take that as a threat. So a lot of this stuff that happens is stupidity. It's us thinking that we really know our dogs, and we really don't until they shock us and they do something stupid. All right. So if your dog bites someone on your property and you have control of them or you don't have control of them, you're still going to be responsible. If your dog bites someone and you're off your property and you have control of them, you don't have control of them, you're still going to be responsible. So now you're educated in the Georgia bite law of vicious dogs. Get control of your dogs. Get them off of harnesses when you go out in public. Make sure you have full control of your animal and keep them on the leash at all times. Don't just release them to run around and do whatever they want to do because you don't have any clue what they're going to do. So I hope we're all educated with the Georgia leash law and we're abiding to these laws. I will do another video about protection dogs later on if a dog is defending you and what that law's like. All right. So again, I'm Madison Bell. Thank y'all for watching. Get your dogs leashed up and make sure that you're keeping them away from spooky and strangey people. Y'all have a good one. I'm out.